Hello everyone and welcome to the Pageant Perspective Podcast. I'm your host Candice Freeman, and on this podcast we go beyond the sash, unveiling stories and celebrating beauty. Today I'm here with Zanele Masondo. She is a pageant director and she's also taking part in pageantry, and I believe that she's doing very well. She says she's coming out of her shell little by little. Yeah. Zanele, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Alright, my name is Zanele Masondo. I'm 22 years old. I live in Johannesburg South, The Hill. I live by the motto that says, you only become strong when being strong is your only choice. I am the pageant director for Miss African Beauty Queen and a title holder for Miss Turffontein as second princess.
Beautiful. Thank you, Zanele. Thank you so much for being here today.
It's a pleasure.
So I want to know, how did you start getting involved in pageantry?
Alright, so how I got involved was that I was invited to Miss African Beauty, I think 2021. Mm-hmm. Yes, we were invited to the event just to go and watch, and just because we had the time off, me and my friend, so we just decided to go and watch. And then from that moment onwards, the founder of the pageant, he didn't have a team because we're very observant people. Well, I'm an observant person, so we did realize that he didn't have much of a team. He was doing much of the work himself.
Yes.
So then after the event, we approached him and then we're like, okay, do you need help with anything? He's like, he doesn't have a team. He needs help. He needs help getting models. He needs a photographer, and he needs event organizers, and he needs he just needed help.
Yes, yeah.
So then we offered our help. We were just like, we're here. We don't mind helping you. We'll do whatever we can. And then obviously I started in photography because that's what I like. I started in photography, and then from photography one thing led to another. Then I started training models. Then I entered pageants myself, and then that's how it went on. Yeah.
Beautiful. So before you entered pageantry, what was your perspective of it? How did you think about pageantry before you were involved in it?
Okay, so with modeling in general, it's something I liked since I was a child because I used to do it. But then because I didn't have the funds to always go to cast callings, and the traveling was very far, and I don't come from a very privileged background, so traveling to these places wasn't always an option. So that's when I stopped. So then when I came across this Miss African Beauty, I was like, oh, this is nice, it's local, it's in my community, I don't mind joining. So yeah, it was something I've always liked. It was somewhat of a passion, but then I just didn't know where to start because body size and all the other aspects you think are into modeling.
Yeah. What are some stereotypes you think people have of pageantry that aren't, actually true?
Well, shockingly enough, you'd think that it's just funny to me because when I read this, it was amazing to me that there are certain people who are not skinny enough to be in. Like, you can look at a person and they're like, you're small, you're like petite, you're really small. And then when they go to a modeling agency or fashion show, they say, no, I was rejected because I was too small. Or I was not small enough. I was just like, but you're supposed to be small, aren't you? And that's how it fits in. I mean, if a person who is small can't be there, what chance do I have as a person who's not even slender in any way? Yeah. So I was like, okay, if a skinny person can't go through, what chances do I have? So I also had the stereotype that plus size models, it's not working. I would definitely not be there. So that's why I stuck to photography for a long time.
Okay, but are you referring to with the plus size and the petite models? Are you referring to the casting agencies?
Casting agencies and just modeling and pageantry as well.
Okay. But do you think that stereotype is true?
Well, from how far I've come, I don't think it's true because in African Beauty, it's not only just a pageant, it's also an agency. So then we accept anyone. Yes. It doesn't matter who you are, what size, what color, we accept you model as long as it's your passion and you know what you're there for. We accept you.
Wow, that's nice. And as long as you have something to give, something to show people. And how long have you been involved with Miss African Beauty?
It's been, I think, 4 years now. Yeah.
And as one of the directors, what would you say makes a successful pageant?
Discipline. I'm very big on discipline because if you're not disciplined, it's not going to get you anywhere. That's what I emphasize most. Last week I had a meeting. We had a classroom, a models classroom, where We were just talking instead of, now it wasn't all about the walking, how you look in front of the camera. It was talking, and I did emphasize that discipline is very important. You have to be on time. Most casting agencies don't just take any, like you could be 1 minute late. That could be your 1 minute delay to success.
Yeah, I see.
So discipline all the time, be on time, know what you're there for. If you know that you have to be dressed in a certain way at a certain time, do that then, because you know what you're there for and you have a goal, you have a mission at the end of the day to do something, you know what you're there for. So be disciplined. Have that mentality of, I know why I'm here. I'm just here to ace what I'm here for, and no distractions. If I get distractions, it will be the end of what I started doing this for.
That's true. Do you have like maybe people that you look up to in pageantry? You know, like Zosie Bini was like a very beautiful example, you know, and she really made African girls feel empowered, and by what she said, what she advocated for leadership and taking up space, you know, that was one thing for me. And also like a haircut, you know, with the haircut, when she came in with the haircut, people were like, oh my word, no, she's doing the most, you know, just being her authentic self. Do you have something or someone that you look up to in pageantry that you love maybe?
Well, this whole time I didn't really have anyone until last year, because I'm into the whole plus size thing for Miss Universe. And then I saw the contestants from Nepal. She was the first plus size to enter Miss Universe.
Whoa.
So from then on, I knew who the person who to follow. I was like, yeah, because I didn't really have one. I was just following my own lead. But now I just, like, when I see her picture, I was like, the first plus size to enter Miss Universe. That's where I want to be.
That's beautiful. Yeah. And you did say that before or even during pageantry, you did have some insecurities, and you...
Yeah, I did. Firstly was my body. That played a big impact on everything, my body, because I just didn't... I thought most people think plus size models, they cannot do it, you're too big, it's not... You're supposed to have a certain weight, you can't eat just anything that you want to eat. I love food, so that was not an option for me, just to quit eating. So and then that was number one, like the biggest one. And then also my gap. I was very insecure about my gap. Most people know me that I don't like to smile because of my gap, but then it's also something I've embraced. I like it now. I love it. It's part of my family. I can't take it away. I learned to embrace it, live with it. People have told me that I have a beautiful smile. So
it's a unique quality, and I also think it's beautiful. And I know some people think like things that are different, they think that it's not cool. But how would you say what is it that made you, and how did you overcome those insecurities? What was your thought process?
So with plus size modeling, I just told myself, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, you can't let this one factor hold you back. I mean, when I entered modeling, I was expecting to see only strictly slender people, petite people with nice weight. And then I saw that there were different kinds of people. You didn't have to be. I was like, I got this. I got this. I don't have to like hold myself back anymore. Whatever happens. If I get rejected, it's a learning experience. I can start over again. I can look somewhere else, because it's not only one place. The world is big. You can explore. So I just took a shot, and I was just like, whatever happens. What's the worst? Yeah.
And you know, with beauty, you know, sometimes people think beauty is just that one standard thing. But what I like about pageants around us, you know, like local pageants, is that they focus on different things within beauty. So beauty might not just be how you look, but it could be how you portray yourself. But in your own words, how would you describe beauty?
Beauty. For me, beauty is how you portray yourself to other people. You can be the most beautiful person with all the makeup in the world, but then if you start talking and what comes out of your mouth is not uplifting, productive, then that is not beauty at all. Beauty is how you carry yourself, how you speak, what comes out of your mouth. Because as long as you're beautiful, you have a big crown, you have makeup, you have the contour, you have the nice nose and everything. But whatever comes out of your mouth needs to be confident, uplifting, productive. It needs to take you somewhere. It needs to make sense. It wouldn't make sense that you're a person who says that you're beautiful, but what you're saying brings people down and lets other people down, judgmental, gossiping, all that stuff.
I think one thing I would say about beauty is that it's inspiring. Like real beauty inspires the next person. It gives the next person something to look up to. That's what I was thinking. And then in terms of like confidence, how would you describe your own confidence?
Well, my confidence is like it's 50% to where I want to get to be, because before I started pageantry, I didn't even want to be seen on stage. I was given the opportunity so many times when I started with the photography. I was given the opportunity so many times. Can you please be an MC? Can you please do this on stage? Can you please introduce a certain I was just like, no, I'm busy. I'm taking pictures. I'm done taking pictures, but I'm taking pictures.
You're taking pictures though.
Because the moment I would get on stage, it would be like eyes are staring at me and then I just choke. I wouldn't know what to say. I would forget even my own name. I just
sure.
Yeah, and the biggest mistake you could make is say as your first thing. So I was just like, okay, maybe being on stage is not my thing. I'll just take a seat back, and yeah, if it happens one day that I see myself on the stage, then it's fine.
Yeah.
But then I entered my first pageant. That was so amazing how I could just walk on stage, and for my evening way around, people were cheering so much. It was like, is this really me? Is this me? Because usually I think that people put me in the shadows, I'm in the background, because that's where I also put myself. So when people were cheering like that, it was like, is this really me? That boosted my confidence a lot. So being on stage really helped.
And what does your fiance think about you being on stage?
He loves it. He's definitely
nice. Where do you think you will go forward with pageantry? What is it that you maybe still want to explore in pageantry, or what you'd like to do?
Well, like I've mentioned, my goal was Miss Universe after seeing Miss Nepal from last year. It was like, now that's my goal. But even if I don't make it that far, I want to just... It's not about the titles that I get, but as long as I can use one title to make a difference through pageantry, introduce more girls to pageantry, then that's my goal. Just to get more girls into pageantry, get them into the self-improvement, confidence, because a lot of girls, especially in the modeling industry, struggle with confidence.
Yeah,
that's one big factor that I've noticed. Most girls will say, I joined pageantry because of my confidence, and that's what I want to just fix. I just want to get more girls into that confidence, because we have a lot of issues as females that are not addressed. So that's what I want to aim for.
Yeah,
I don't want to have a whole lot of titles and just sashes. You know? Be like, I have 50 sashes, but what I've done with those sashes hasn't really made an impact. So even if I have one sash, I want to make a big difference with that one sash.
That's beautiful. And so, because you were pageant director and you were second princess for Miss Turffontein, have you been part of some community initiatives?
All right, so in terms of Miss Turffontein has they're very big on community projects. So what my ideas for the community project is I'd like to donate clothes. That's one thing I've done. That's one thing I'd like to do with the team of Miss Turffontein. I want to donate clothes, whether to an old age home, to the squatter camps, to just anyone who's in need. And then my second initiative is starting a netball team within the community, because I love netball.
That's nice.
Even if it's not something I do all the time or every day, but then that's something, also another initiative to bring girls together, to support each other. That's just, and doing something that I like at the same time. So, and then the other one is starting an initiative for drug use. I had a family member, my brother, who was addicted to drug for a very long time, and I saw how much of an impact that it didn't only affect him, it affects also the people around him.
Yes,
so
it does.
I want to start an initiative to address such issues.
Bring awareness.
Because most people think that a drug addict, what can you do? Just let them be. They will come back to their senses one day, and that is not the case. Because with my brother, it took a lot of work in and out of prison so many times, family being affected, communities come together and they want to do harmful things to people because of those drug things. So it comes with a lot. So that's what I want to address and help people understand, that just don't let them go and give up on them.
Don't give up on them.
There's still hope. Just help them. Even if it's been the last 50 years, there's still hope.
And is your brother recovered?
Yes, he's fully recovered now. He's doing great, yeah.
Well, I just want to say to your brother, well done.
Thank you.
And good job. Your sister's proud of you. I'm sure your family's proud of you. And we wish you all the best on this journey. I know I've also had a few experiences concerning this, and it's not easy. It's really not easy to keep the straight path. But I wish you all the best, and you're doing good.
Yeah, thank you.
That's good. So then, So you do say, you're saying that you want to sort of like represent a plus size,
Yes.
model in pageantry and things like that. And you really are enjoying it.
So much. It's just like modeling and pageantry. It's my happy place. I love it so much.
Really?
Yeah. It's brought out a different side of me that I never knew I had, because I was always trapped in a little cocoon by myself. I didn't want to be out there and explore so many things. Never in a million years would I ever thought to be on a podcast nonetheless.
Yeah.
I would have never thought I would ever be there, but it has just broken me out of my shell, and I'm really proud of where I've become. I want to see myself go further and make a difference to a whole lot more people that were just like me.
That's beautiful. What advice would you give to girls that feel like they don't have a place in pageantry and they shouldn't even bother thinking about it? What advice would you give them?
Give it a try. It's not like it's whatever stereotypes that you have, whatever hindrances, whatever brain blockages you have, take that out the window. It's not building you. It's not taking you anywhere. It's not. Do what is gonna put you forward.
Yes.
Just do it.
Yeah.
You might enter and think that this is not for me. You're gonna fail so many times. You're gonna feel discouraged so many times. You're not gonna make it to the top 5 so many times. You're not gonna make it to the top 10 so many times. It does not matter. But the feeling of being on stage, knowing that you're inspiring someone else, can really make a difference. Knowing that you probably have a little brother, a little sister who can look up to you and see the difference in yourself. It just really...
That's so true. Yeah. And I think your journey is testament of it, because you took like one small step by helping someone, and then you never knew it was going to bring you this far, right?
I thought I was going to always be behind the camera and just stay there for as long as... Because that's also my comfortable... But be out of your comfort zone, do something different, explore. It really brought me far.
Yeah, and for the girls at home also, like sometimes you get the small opportunity and you don't think it's relevant. Like just take it, like snatch it. Take that one opportunity, that small step to do something, and you'll see how you go. It really takes you places. And that one step you take can really take you many far places. Yes. And then I want to know also, if you were to leave this earth, let's say when you're leaving this earth,
okay.
What's the one thing you would do, and what's the one thing you'd like to be remembered for?
Yeah, this is a very interesting question, because I'm a person who likes to get involved in so many things. I want to do so many things.
You want to change the world.
Yeah, but let's see. What I want to be remembered for is just helping as many people as I could. Even if it's with the smallest things, just helping someone with the littlest thing can take them so far. Because I've helped so many people, like just by talking to them, it really takes a person really far. I just want to be known for helping people and changing people's lives. There's probably a lot of people who say this, that I just want to be known for changing people's lives, but how I envision it, it's not in that typical sense. I just really want to be out there helping people, helping as much as I can, like doing what I can, what is in my strength. I can even ask God to give me his power just to help as many people as I can.
Yes.
Just to do so many things in people's lives, because small changes make a big difference.
That's true. I totally agree with you, and I understand what you mean by help, and helping in the smallest and even in the biggest ways, as small as you can. There was one thing I did the one time, right? So I was giving out leaflets, like scriptural leaflets out like in the street, and then I met this one guy and I gave him like the scripture, and it was Jeremiah 29:11, where it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you." And I think that relates to you. I think that scripture's for you as well. And I gave it to this guy, and this guy took it and was like, "You know what? I actually needed that." And just that one little thing that we do, you're thinking, I'm just going to give it, but you're doing it with the hopes of making a difference.
Yeah, because you never know what
what can come of it. Zanele Masondo, thank you so much for being here today.
It was a pleasure too.
It's another leap that you took. It's another big step that you took, right?
A very big step.
And thank you for your fiancé for being here, supporting you as well.
Thank you.
And then to our viewers, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking, subscribing. I encourage you to share and comment on our podcast. We really do appreciate your support. From Zanele and I and the Pageant Perspective Podcast, that's all for now. Goodbye.